You don't like the crust?
Walter White never broke bad. He was rotten from the start. There are television shows, and then there is Breaking Bad, a series that treats foreshadowing the way other productions treat dialogue. Omnipresent, deliberate, and impossible to ignore once you know where to look. On the surface, it's a meth drama about a high school teacher turned crime lord.
Chemistry is the study of matter.
Underneath, it's a jigsaw puzzle constructed with the precision of a Swiss watch. Every frame, every prop, every errant pizza slice is a breadcrumb leading to something darker, funnier, or more tragic.
Chemical reactions involve change on two levels.
The brilliance lies in how easily these details slip by on first viewing, only to detonate like hidden landmines on the second, third, or 10th rewatch. Take the family car decal that omits Jesse, the prodigal son, erased by his parents before the meth did it for them. A cruel little sticker, really. Suburban branding, doubling as disownment.
I'm building a class action Flight 515. Victims' families would be great.
Or Saul Goodman's interminable ribbon in support of plane crash victims, worn so long it begins to look like irony stitched into polyester. Is it genuine empathy or marketing opportunism? In Saul's world, the two are inseparable. One could call it tragedy with a phone number attached.
Fern green.
Color, of course, is the show's real omnipresent narrator. Walter White drenches himself in green, as though camouflage could disguise his transformation into Heisenberg. Marie Hoover clings to purple with such obsession that even her radiologist's mug screams, "We see through you," a little wink from the set designers that the character herself misses entirely. When Hank dies, the purple disappears with him.
Well, that's the manganese part, okay? It oxidizes, like rust.
Exactly, man.
Color doesn't just decorate this world, it convicts the guilty and mourns the dead. The show's humor, if one can call it that, is equally meticulous.
Pizza.
Well, I'm making dinner.
The pizza that landed on the White family roof wasn't sliced, a fact explained in-universe by Badger's rambling about cheap pizzerias that save costs by refusing to cut. Only Breaking Bad would retroactively construct an entire subplot to justify a visual gag. Meanwhile, in Better Call Saul, the joke gets twisted further, with characters explicitly requesting sliced pizza, as if the writers couldn't resist letting their own absurdity echo across timelines. Objects and habits migrate from one corpse to the next. Walt, ever the magpie of the damned, absorbs traits from his victims.
You don't like the crust?
After Crazy 8, he cuts crusts from sandwiches. After Gus, he places a towel by the toilet, mimicking a ritual he never even witnessed. His life becomes a grotesque collage of appropriated mannerisms, the chemistry teacher turned Frankenstein, assembled from pieces of the dead.
We will produce a chemically pure and stable product that performs as advertised. No adulterants, no baby formula, no chili powder.
No.
Even his cancer, his literal contamination, becomes metaphorical, mirrored in his obsession with separating impurities in his family life, as though emotions could be distilled like meth. Foreshadowing doesn't merely whisper in Breaking Bad. It bellows.
Old guy in a wheelchair.
Hector Salamanca once sat in a chair with a wheel, years before he was chained to one.
Indisposed.
Walt quipped about being indisposed long before Hank caught him in the bathroom, pants down, dignity stripped.
Those numbers are GPS coordinates.
The lottery ticket coordinates for his buried millions, purchased as a quick pick, meaning even his legacy of financial security is a cosmic accident.
737. $737,000. That's what I need.
And then there's the plane crash itself. Walt calculated his family's safety net at $737,000, only for two planes, a 737 among them, to collide above Albuquerque. Fate, it seems, reads the same spreadsheets as Vince Gilligan. Even music gets weaponized. The finale's title, Felina, nods to the cowboy ballad El Paso, signaling Walt's end before the first gunshot fires. Earlier, as Hank uncovers Gale's incriminating book, the soundtrack cuts in with Squeeze's "If I Didn't Love You, I'd Hate You." Subtlety is not the point here. Inevitability is. Every song is a dirge Walt selected for himself, whether he admits it or not. The writers recycle faces and locations with the glee of conspiracy theorists pinning red string. The arrogant stockbroker whose BMW explodes in Breaking Bad resurfaces as a mark for Jimmy and Kim in Better Call Saul. The pants Walt loses in the desert pilot episode resurface years later as he rolls his fortune through the sand. The same painting, a solitary man rowing away from his family, haunts Walt across seasons, a silent prophecy no character acknowledges, but every viewer eventually decodes.
What? Being a lunatic?
Sorry about Jane.
Some of the most cutting ironies are the quietest. Jane jokes to Jesse, like, ever? When he admits he didn't think she'd wake up. Soon after, she doesn't. Walt turns baby Holly on her side to prevent choking, mere episodes before letting Jane suffocate beside Jesse.
Skylar, put the knife down, please. I promise you
Don't.
Even Skylar's knife block, framed in early domestic bliss, becomes the very object she later wields against her husband. Gilligan's team didn't just foreshadow events. They set the traps years in advance, then invited us to congratulate ourselves for spotting them.
How are you today, sir?
Oh, good. How are you?
The show even mocks its own construction. When Jesse collaborates with the DEA, a Breaking Bad DVD sits casually in the background, the kind of wink that would be unbearable in lesser hands. Here, it's a reminder. Had anyone truly watched the show, Walt would have been caught seasons earlier.
You need something?
And yes, the bell tones scattered throughout episodes may prepare us for Hector's final act, but they also toll for Walt. Each chime another reminder that his clock stopped ticking long before his watch literally did.
Perhaps the cruelest joke is the wardrobe. This desert set saga spans 2 years.
One is a beanie-wearing jizz stain by the name of Brandon Mayhew.
Yet its characters swaddle themselves in jackets and beanies as though Albuquerque were Anchorage. It's less a continuity error than a metaphor. No matter how hot the sand, the cold truth of inevitability clings to them all.
Who's seat, Heisenberg?
By the end, Walt isn't a man in hiding. He's a man in costume, wrapped in the borrowed identities of everyone he destroyed. What separates Breaking Bad from television's usual parade of Easter eggs is the discipline with which every detail serves the larger design. These aren't clever quirks sprinkled for superfans to debate online. They're the architecture itself.
When I went out this morning to get the newspaper, I saw...
The knife block, the pizza, the colors, the ribbons, the offhanded quips, all of them matter. The show doesn't merely reward rewatching, it demands it, punishing the inattentive while crowning the observant with the sick satisfaction of realizing just how doomed Walter White was from his very first match flicked into the pool. Because that's the real secret. Breaking Bad was never about transformation. Walt didn't break bad one day in the desert.
Skylar, there's rot.
The man was already rotting, already calculating, already flicking phosphorus into the water before Hank ever offered him a ride along.
Hank had a partner, a businessman named Gustavo Fring.
The tragedy is not that the signs were hidden, it's that they were all there all along in plain sight, and like everyone around Walt, we simply chose not to notice. Foreshadowing only works if you're here to see it pay off. Subscribe.